Glory to the King. Welcome back. We're going to get into, let me go here and see if anybody has any questions first. Sorry, I meant to do this before I came back on the air. Okay. Hi, everybody. Great to see you. Welcome to the show. I love you guys. Oh, Janine says she can't get in the chat room. Why not? I don't know why she can't. Troy, Janine says she can't get in the chat room. Any idea what could be the problem? Okay. I love you guys. I'm so glad you're here. Glory to the King. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying the teaching. Oh, yes, we are. We are grafted into the Jews. That's right. Anon, welcome. Glory to the King. Hi, Kathy. Love you, sis. You're so sweet. I know you're out there. Okay. Let me see where we are at on our study in Proverbs. Would you like to get back into the Proverbs? When my kids were little, we would do our bedtime ritual at night, and they would pick a book and we would read that, and then we would read the proverb of the day. If it was like the 16th, we would read Proverbs 16. We would also do the corresponding psalm. And then we would take another chapter somewhere else. But on all of these, I would quiz them. And my kids really can soak up that Bible knowledge. Let me tell you, little children understand. They do. It's like it's kind of like when you get older, you don't understand as well as you do when you're a child. I mean, children believe God. And we want to believe God too, don't we? We're gonna believe God too. All right, the last chapter we did in Proverbs, looks like it was Proverbs 7:10 is where we left off last time. Let's go over and get into our study in Proverbs chapter 7, and we'll start at verse 11. Mark that here. Oh, I was going to tell you. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Sabbath. It's Friday. Don't you love Fridays? And I have my candle. My friend gave me this wonderful, wonderful candle. It's jasmine. That's I don't know if I ever told you. I'm sure I had to have. It was so cool. When my friend and I went to Israel last year, we went to the Western Wall, but not where all the people were. We went to another area down from that was open, and they were excavating. You could actually get closer that way, and they were excavating down there. But we went down there and right up against the wall, and we had our hands against the wall, and I leaned my face up against the wall, and I was telling God how happy and thrilled I was to be there. And, he suddenly began to rain flowers down on us. And I looked up, and there was a bush, a jasmine bush, growing out of the wall. Okay, growing from out of the wall. And it began to just rain white flowers. These wonderful, beautiful jasmine white flowers upon us. And we were amazed, and we thought, wow, this is cool. And we started picking up all these flowers and gathering them, right? And then it stopped. And it was kind of like a hug from God saying, I'm welcome. I'm glad you're here. And I love you too. And just kind of shook the bush on, and it rained jasmine on us. But ever since that day, that was like the coolest thing that's ever happened to me in my whole life. Okay. For God to rain jasmine on me. It was wonderful. And my friend gave me a jasmine candle. And you don't see these very often, but it's like so happy. Ah, it's wonderful. I actually, it's almost too wonderful to light it. But I'm going to use it specifically for the Sabbath. And it's the Sabbath. Glory to the King. The sun has gone down. And I'm going to light my candle and praise the Lord for his Sabbath. Isn't that great? Glory to the King. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm still trying to get well. Now, I'm bouncing back fast, though. I'm way better than I was before. Let's go ahead and get started in Proverbs chapter 7. We're going to start at verse 11. Everybody okay over here? Janine, you made it. Good. You made it into the chat room. Awesome. You love Jasmine too? Me too. It's way happy. Way happy. Okay, let's go ahead and get into our study in Proverbs chapter 7, starting at verse 11. Are you ready? Now, let's back up to 10 here real quick to set our context. Or actually 8. Let's back up to 8 to set our context. Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. This is a, oh shoot. Let me do the 7, really. And beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding. He's not very smart, okay? Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. This is a harlot he's messing with there. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. In verse 10, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot and subtle of heart. So she's slick. She knows how to woo him in. In verse 11, she is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. She won't stay home. She needs to stay home. Now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. This woman is every woman who's out there doing the same thing. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. So she's hunting the precious life, okay? I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. She's enticing him to come. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. See, she's describing something that she thinks is going to be enticing to him. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves. Now, there are people out there in the day we live in now, they will just sleep with anybody. Okay? Everybody. Anybody. Everybody. They call it friends with benefits and things like this. They don't have to be in love with someone and want to spend their lives with them to trust them with something so intimate. And that's really dangerous, okay? Because when you have sex with someone, they imprint on you. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have, this physical contact with someone who loves peanut butter and you don't like peanut butter. Well, they imprint on you and you may actually start liking peanut butter and not know why. Okay? It's really scary in the ways another soul can imprint on you when you are joined in that way physically, because it's not just a physical joining, it's a spiritual joining. And that can lead you to some very scary states of mind, because for all you know, if you add up all the people that person had been with and all the other people you'd been with and all the other people they'd been with, and so on and so forth, you may have 1,000 people spiritually that you're joining yourself to. It's You want to wait until marriage. It's such a sensitive thing, and it's a dangerous thing to join yourself spiritually to someone. Um, that's why God wants us to marry first, because if someone does not love you enough to marry you, you certainly cannot trust their love for you is strong enough for you to go even beyond that and share a spirit with them. They will imprint on you. That's why they say old married people start looking alike, talking alike, acting alike, as they get older together. They imprint on each other. And the two will be one flesh. So it's very scary. Do not go there. It's better to it's better to wait until you marry. Because if someone doesn't love you enough to marry you and commit to you for the rest of their lives with marriage, you sure can't trust them to join with you spiritually. In verse 19, so she's saying, come, let's just have some fun till morning. And for her, she just wants somebody to hang out with and have sex with. In 19, for the goodman is not at home. That's her husband. Okay. He is gone a long journey. Well, I feel sorry for him already, don't you? Having somebody at home like that. In verse 20, he hath taken a bag of money with him and will come home at the day appointed. So he's supposed to be gone for a certain length of time. And she's saying, well, come on in. He's going to be gone. He's not coming back. In verse 21, with her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. She convinces him to go ahead and come in with her. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him, is what it says. It says, with the flattering of her lips, she forced him. And, that she may have said something to him such as, oh, well, maybe you don't like girls. Or something that forced him to go with her, feeling like maybe he had something to prove. In 22, he goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter. As an ox goeth to the slaughter, men, remember that. Or as a fool to the correction of the stocks, till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. He's in serious trouble if he joins himself with her. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O my children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thine heart decline to her ways, and don't sink so low. Go not astray in her paths, for she hath cast down many wounded. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. If you mess with a woman like that, you are going to feel like you're in hell every day of your life that you're with her. Okay? And she's not going to let you go. She's the type who will go and shoot you or set you up and get you arrested. She's trouble. Okay? She's trouble. If you're married, she'll call your wife. She'll lie to you and say she's pregnant. This kind of a woman is out only for herself. In chapter 8. Are we good? Everybody okay over here? Okay. Chapter 8, verse 1. Doth not wisdom cry, and understanding put forth her voice? She standeth in the top of high places, by the way in the places of the paths. She standeth in the top of high places. What it's saying is that when you rise above and have a high standard, okay, that's where you find her. Are we frozen? That was really weird, Troy. I had a really weird look on my face, too, when that happened. Okay. In verse 3, she crieth at the gates, at the entry of the city, at the coming in at the doors. Now, this isn't the harlot woman anymore. This is the call of wisdom. Okay? Doth not wisdom cry, remember? And understanding put forth her voice. You hear the her? These are the wisdom and understanding are two of the seven spirits before the throne of God, shown to us in Revelation 1:4, and then named for us in Isaiah 11:2. In verse 4, unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. So wisdom wants to help us. O ye simple, understand wisdom. We're like sheep, aren't we? I think he's being kind by calling us sheep. We're actually, we could actually be called accurately some far less flattering things. And ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart. Wisdom and understanding are vital. Okay? Hear, for I will speak of excellent things, and the opening of my lips shall be right things. You can trust the word of the Lord and study it and make it a part of you confidently. For my mouth shall speak truth, and wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. That means when you're talking, you are speaking in faith of God. You know, you believe him. You're speaking in faith. Abraham believed God, and it was accounted unto him for righteousness. So it says, all the words of my mouth are in righteousness, in believing God. There's nothing froward, that means contrary, difficult to get along with, or perverse in them. Do we remember what perverse means? Let's remind everyone what perverse is. We look these things up because we want to make sure we understand them, don't we? Okay. Perverse. Of a person or their actions showing a deliberate and obstinate desire to behave in a way that is unreasonable or unacceptable, often in spite of the consequences. That's someone who is perverse. Being perverse is contrary to the accepted or expected standard or practice. Okay? Some synonyms are awkward, contrary, difficult, unreasonable, uncooperative, unhelpful, obstructive, disobliging, recalcitrant, stubborn, obstinate, obdurate, mullish, pig-headed, bull-headed. I think we get it now, don't we? That's what perverse is. It says in verse 8, let's look at it again. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing froward or perverse in them. They are all plain to him that understandeth. God has to give you understanding. And if you walk in his ways, he will give you understanding. And right to them that find knowledge. You got to study. How can you ever learn anything and gain wisdom and understanding if you don't absorb the words of the Lord? Okay? The words of the Lord are wisdom, are understanding. Okay? Now, yes, these are seven spirits, but you get what I'm saying, right? And how do you gain wisdom if you don't hear the words of the Lord? How do you gain understanding? He gives it to you, but you have to study something to gain an understanding of it, don't you? He has to give you that understanding, but you have to study it. In verse 10, receive my instruction. Read your Bible and not silver. How many hours a day do you spend pursuing silver? 8, 10, 12 at your job? Your job, every day you go to your job, you're pursuing silver, money. He says, receive my instruction and not silver. His instruction's worth more than your silver. And knowledge rather than choice gold. It's better to have the knowledge of the word than it is to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. Okay? For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it. Wisdom is the chief thing that we must desire. I ask God for wisdom all the time. And maybe someday I'll get some. In verse 12, I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge of witty inventions. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. You don't want any part of evil if you're aligned with the King of Kings. Pride and arrogancy and the evil way and the froward mouth do I hate. God does. He doesn't want these things. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding. I have strength. Now, God has to give you an understanding. He has to give you wisdom, understanding. But he does say that he gives these things liberally. That means in large measure, all you want, to those who will ask him. Okay? By me, kings reign. That's wisdom and understanding. And princes decree justice. By wisdom and understanding. By me, princes rule, and nobles, even all the judges of the earth. I love them that love me. Now this is wisdom and understanding talking. They love those who love them. Wisdom and understanding do. Okay? So if you love them, you're going to pursue them, aren't you? Don't you pursue what you love? Well, if you love them, they're going to love you back. Okay? I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. Don't wait until the Lord's in the sky. Seek him early. Now, you can't seek him until he calls you. But if he's called you, be diligent. Okay? He says, those that seek me early shall find me. Don't wait until he's in the sky or the world is blowing up in front of your face to seek him. And we're almost there as it is. So you're running out of time. But none can come to him unless he calls you. If he calls you, you come. Okay? In 18, riches and honor are with me. That's wisdom and understanding. Yea, durable riches and righteousness. He's saying with wisdom and understanding, you can actually make money with it. Okay? You can make the money to sustain your family with wisdom and understanding. Okay? And righteousness. Believe in God. Okay? Riches and honor are with me, yea, durable riches. He's saying money you can actually use. Riches you can actually, take to the store and buy something with it. And righteousness is with him. Those who believe God. Believing God is righteousness. Oh, we're down at the bottom of the hour. We'll start again on Monday in verse 19 of chapter 8. And don't go away. We're going to come right back with our study in Genesis after this.